Amit Shah today gave a clarion call to Northeast states to ensure seamless coordination in the war against drugs. While chairing a crucial regional meeting on drug trafficking and the national security at the Assam Administrative College in Guwahati this evening, Home Minister Shah said a coordinated fight is must to tackle the drugs menace in the country. While the Home Minister added that all steps will be taken by the centre to release Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream of a drugs-free India. Addressing Chief Ministers, Chief Secretaries and DGPs of the Northeast during the meet, Home Minister Amit Shah said that the Northeast stood vulnerable to drugs menace due to its proximity with Myanmar and focus should be on sealing the entry point of drugs. Well, Home Minister Shah also stressed on a four-tier mechanism to tackle drugs menace even as he called for end-to-end investigation in each case.
देश के सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमान नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के वर्ष में हमें एक लक्ष्य दिया है, ड्रग फ्री इंडिया। ड्रग फ्री इंडिया के लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करने के लिए सभी राज्य और केंद्र सरकार की संबंधित एजेंसी और भारत सरकार का गृह विभाग और केंद्र सरकार के राजस्व विभाग, स्वास्थ्य विभाग और समाज कल्याण विभाग, ये सब मिलकर एक साझा रणनीति के तहत काम नहीं करते हैं तो ड्रग फ्री इंडिया का स्वप्न हमारा साकार नहीं हो सकता है। और मैं मानता हूं हम सब की ये जिम्मेदारी है कि आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के वर्ष में हम संकल्प ले कि हम ड्रग को रोकेंगे और मोदी जी के ड्रग फ्री इंडिया के लक्ष्य को अचीव करेंगे। मित्रों, ड्रग अगर देश के अंदर हम पूर्णतया रोक लेते हैं तो इसके साथ साथ डर्टी मनी को भी रोकते हैं। डर्टी मनी जब रुकता है तो अनेक प्रकार की देश विरोधी प्रवृत्तियों पर भी एक रोक लगने का काम है। देश की सुरक्षा और ड्रग के कारोबार को आज हम अनेक केसों का विश्लेषण कर कह सकते हैं कि ये दोनों के बीच में अब कोई अंतर नहीं रह गया। कहीं न कहीं देश के अंदर इंसर्जेंसी को बढ़ावा देने वाले लोग, आतंकवाद को पानी डालने वाले लोग और हथियारों की तस्करी करने वाले लोगों का संबंध ड्रग की तस्करी के साथ सीधा आता है। और वहीं से हमने ये समझ लेना चाहिए कि जब तक हम ड्रग फ्री इंडिया नहीं कर सकते, सुरक्षित भारत की कल्पना भी अपने आप में काल्पनिक कल्पना है। तो ड्रग फ्री इंडिया और सुरक्षित भारत एक ही सिक्के के दो पहलू।
And joining me live on the broadcast this evening is our news editor, Nabarun Goswami. Nabarun, good evening to you. First of all, a very crucial meeting. What are some of the takeaways from the meeting today? Nabarun.
Very significant meet, Aaron, this meet on drug trafficking, regional meet on drug trafficking and national security. And we just heard Union Home Minister Amit Shah stating how important the war against drugs is. And the war on drugs, as far as making India drug-free is concerned, the war on drugs in the Northeast is very crucial. Union Home Minister Amit Shah today clearly said that there are two routes through which drugs, contraband items, narcotics are entering India. One is through Myanmar, other through Afghanistan, and that's why these are the two main entry points, and the battle has to be fought at the entry point, and that's why the war on drugs in the Northeast is so important. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has given a clarion call today to the Northeast states to put up a joint, coordinated, seamless coordinated fight against the war on drugs. He has even called for district level coordination between the various districts of the states. Coordination has to be at that level if we are serious in tackle the drug menace in the Northeast. And he he has also mentioned how drugs is related to insurgency, to narco terror, and also black money, entry of black money, and other illegal activities. And it has been made amply clear that Northeast is key when it comes to the war on drugs, and when it comes to making India drugs free. Clearly mentioned Myanmar, one of the entry points. The proximity of Northeast to Myanmar is the reason which makes this area, this region vulnerable. I guess we have Arindam Das, our Chief of Bureau, who is joining us from the venue of the meeting. The meeting just got over a short while ago. Arindam, if you could hear me, several key points here mentioned by the Indian Home Minister. Can you take us through some of the main points that he discussed?
That's right, Navaran. Many key points were there during this crucial meeting on drug trafficking and national security. As you have mentioned, that the main entry points of drugs to India are on the western front, it's the Afghanistan, and on the eastern front, it's Myanmar. So it is very necessary to stop the smuggling of drugs at the entry point. And whenever drugs enters Northeast India from Myanmar, it affects the region severely. So he has said that seizure is not the only solution to drug smuggling, to tackle the drug smuggling, but a concerted effort should be made to root out the drug smuggling from the base. He has cited a small example that even if a simple drug seizure is made from a small pawn shop, that should not be ignored as a small case, but efforts should be made to investigate deeper into that case, from where the drugs are coming, who are involved, whether terrorists are involved in funding this drug smuggling. So these are the main issues which he has focused. And in fact, he has said that it's not only the police who can alone tackle the drugs menace, or the various security agencies who are tackling with drugs menace, then they alone cannot solve the problem. But there should be concerted effort from the root level of all the agencies that can stop drug smuggling and make India drug free. He has said that district level coordination is a must, interstate level coordination is a must, interagency coordination is a must to tackle drug smuggling. He said that police alone cannot solve the problem. If necessary, police should take the help of the ED if they have to investigate the type of funding in the drug smuggling. If it has to be investigated in the angle of terrorism involved, other agencies like the NIA or the other agencies should be engaged, and help should be sought from various agencies to tackle drug smuggling. So
another significant point is that Indian Home Minister Amit Shah has called for sealing the entry of drugs right at the border, right at the entry point. He has specifically spoken about Afghanistan and Myanmar, from where the drugs are entering. So clearly, of course, Manipur, our key state when it comes to the war on drugs.
that's right. If we speak of the Northeast, one of the two entry points of drugs to India is Myanmar. So from Myanmar, the drugs enters India to mainland India through Northeast. Whenever drugs enters Northeast, it is the Northeast which is severely affected first by the menace of drugs. So efforts should be made to choke that supply chain at the entry point. And as you have mentioned, that Manipur is a state which borders Myanmar, and other northeastern states are also there which borders Myanmar, from which drugs is smuggled. But concerted efforts or coordinated efforts should be made by various agencies. There should be a coordination between the various state police to deal with this drug menace. In fact, improvised technologies, sophisticated technologies should be used to tackle drugs menace. He has said that if required, drone imaging, satellite imaging is necessary for tackling drugs menace. That should also be taken into consideration. And he has, in fact, lauded the efforts of the Manipur government or the Manipur police of right now, how they are trying to tackle drugs menace by using sophisticated technology, by drone and satellite mapping. And that's what he has said in this meeting. And as he has said that, yes, to stop the supply chain at the entry point is the only way to stop drug menace and to tackle a drug menace in the entire country, and to win this war on drug which is taking over the country. And
Arindam, the Indian Home Home Minister also spoke about a four-tier mechanism to tackle the drug menace. Can you take us through that?
Yes, he has said that, as I have mentioned, that there should be coordinated effort at various levels. So when we say the drugs are coming from the international borders, from across the international borders, so the mechanism should be four-tiered. So initially it should be at the international level, then at the state level, then at the district level, and then through the other agencies who are involved in investigating various aspects of drug smuggling. So as I have mentioned earlier, that the police alone or the various agencies alone cannot solve or tackle the drug menace in the northeast or in the entire country, but a coordinated effort should be made to tackle the drug menace. So if the police requires the help of the other agencies like the ED or the NI, they should take into consideration that aspect. And after that, there should be a coordinated effort to track.
Focus, Arindam, has also been put on rehabilitation. The Indian Home Minister has clearly said, Amit Shah has clearly said that drug users are victims. Those who trade on drugs, those who supply drugs, drug traffickers are the criminals. And that differentiating was very important. The government, the centre has made clear that they see the drug users as victims. They require rehabilitation, and focus is also on that. So it seems to be a coordinated effort here, a strategy that has to be that has been come up with.
That's right. The Union Home Minister has clearly said that the stand of Government of India is very clear, that those who consume drugs are the victims and those who smuggle or sell drugs are the criminals. So there should be a two-pronged strategy to deal with the drug menace. So rehabilitation is equally important while trying to tackle the drug trafficking or the drug smuggling. So rehabilitation is another part, and in that point, several other agencies like the social organizations, the NGOs and other such organizations are necessary in the rehabilitation process. So there should be a two-pronged strategy to tackle the drug menace. One, to choke the supply, to cut off the supply, to end the drug menace, and the other is to how to rehabilitate the victims, that is those who are the drug abusers, they are the victims, how they can be rehabilitated so that the society can turn out to be a better place.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Arindam Das, for all those inputs. So, Aaron, well, a very crucial meeting there, and of course, Northeast, as we said, is key to the war on drugs, to the dream of a drugs-free India. That's what the Indian Home Minister Amit Shah has mentioned, and of course, the war on drugs has to be fought at the entry points, in this case Myanmar or be it Afghanistan, because it's all related. The drugs states may be acting as transit routes, transit points, so it's very important that Northeast states coordinate even at the district level. Four-tier mechanism to be in place. That's the big story this evening. Over to you, Aaron, in the studios.
Right, well, news editor there, Naborun Goswami, our Chief of Bureau, Arindam Das, who is still at the Administrative Staff College here in Guwahati, tracking the development very closely. Gentlemen, thank you.